Good afternoon, YouTubers. Retired pilot shop working here. This is a hot water pressure washer that I got from a friend of mine who he got it from someone who had left it outside during the winter, and the pipes froze up in here, the coil. There's a 3/4 inch pipe coil in here. So he gave it to me, and I took that out of there and cut the coil apart and then re-welded it, put it back together. And then there was also some issues down here with the burner assembly, so I ordered a new pump for that thing down there. And then also it had messed up the pump, the pressure pump, the water pressure pump, and the motor. So this is actually a new motor from Can Pump, and I just put the motor on here. I had to do some modifications down here on the frame in order for the pump or the motor to fit on there. Also, when it came yesterday, the box was damaged, and in the back here, the cover right here, you can see where the paint's chipped off of it. This was smashed into the fan there. It's a plastic fan, and so I called up the company there, and they're in the process of sending me a new fan and a new cover. And that's actually the only damage that I can see with the thing. I started it up and it ran fine, and I just straightened out the fan. And so now I'm just in the process of I'm going to put the pump on here. It just fits over this shaft right here with this keyway, and then hopefully it's going to start. I had also had some problems up in here with there's a little mechanism in here which there's like a float that goes back and forth with water pressure, and that allows this wire here that comes off of, goes over to the panel over there, and allows the water to, or the burner to turn on. So I guess there's safety features in there to keep from having the burner running without water flow through it, because it would obviously get too hot. So that's what I'm working on right now, and hopefully it's gonna work. I had to buy some other, well, I bought this new because it was broke inside, and then I had some issues getting it to work right, but we'll see what happens, because it's been a while since I started deciding if I was going to order this motor and the pump, and that's why I decided to go ahead and do it. So that's what we're working on right now. So I just have to get the keyway in here, or the key in the keyway here, and then align this thing and go on there, and then I gotta hook up the rest of it over here, the pressure control. Just has 4 bolts that hook it, the pressure pump to the motor. And also today I got my panel for my rotary phase converter and my 5 horsepower motor to put in the lathe. And hopefully if this thing works right, I want to pressure wash the lathe prior to putting all that stuff on it. I scrape most of the, or I'll scrape some of the grease and dirt and whatnot off of it, but I want to get it cleaner and eventually maybe paint the thing. I want to try to get it running before because I got to do the wiring and whatnot for the rotary phase converter off my 220 single phase. And that's what the rotary phase, I think in the other video I had said that I was doing that with the 220 single phase, make it into 220 3-phase. So that'll be something I'll be trying to figure out here in the future here. Some of these are a little bit difficult to get a wrench on and get any turn on them. Okay, so there's the pump is on there. Now what I got to do is put the pressure switch in where the inlet and out for the water goes, and then over top of here is where the water comes out of the pump. It goes through this mechanism here, and then the burners down there, and hopefully this is gonna work once I get it back together here the rest of the way. That's the next thing, is whether it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. Okay, so now I'm going to put this, I call this a pressure, what is this? Is the pressure knob up here, and this is actually an unloader. And then the hose water comes in here, and this goes out this end of the unloader here. And these two things screw into here with O-rings on them. what I did here, did this a little bit backwards because I should have put the bottom one in first. But I did. So went back out of there and see if I can get it to go like this. There we go, I think. No, not. Doesn't seem right there. I don't see how else it's going to go together because that's what the thing's made. Doesn't seem right to me, but I don't know. Looks like that should be together. No, there was no spacer in there. I mean, it came. So, what's going to happen here? This don't seem right. There's an O-ring down inside of here, but this gap here is what I'm wondering about, if that's supposed to be there like that. I don't see what else to do with it there. Okay, you gotta do that. Put that back together right. Okay, so what I'm still working on is this hot water pressure washer, and what I'm doing now is changing out the thermocoupler wire. Got this pulled back through here. This is what determines the temperature. So it's basically a thermostat type thing. Looks like this there, and that goes into the control box here, and then over to the other side, and into the line of water, hot water. So then here's the new one, and I have to pull this cap back off here because I put it on without lining up the tab the way it should be lined up. So I just got to pop it back off there, hopefully without messing anything up. Doesn't look like it has a good place to put a screwdriver in there without breaking it. So, that's not good. There it comes. Okay. Should pop off there now. So what I need to do is line up this flat side right there with the, and that should go and then see if I put this back on here like this. Yeah, that should be off like that. And then as I turn it, that turns it on. And then that lowers the temperature like that. So that's off. So I guess I'll just play with it once I get it running and see how it's going to work. Now, then this has to go back through. This is actually the wire that goes over to the other side. So this has to be uncoiled here. And then I gotta put that back on there. This has to be connected. I'm not sure exactly whether this is supposed to be. Doesn't have any directions with it, so I'm just going to try it here and see if I get it right here. Since in that direction, I looked it up on the YouTube actually, and to see if there was anything specific with this one, and it just showed a little bit different switch than this, and it had the two prongs that were sticking up at the same level was what they were saying to use for temperature controller. So, but it was all three on the same side, so I'm not sure if this is going to be correct or not, but I'm going to have to test it out and see if it's not, then I'll change them. And then this actually goes back through here. Back through this hole here. And so that's going to be just fishing this back through this hole. And the thing is, you don't want to bend this wire too much and break it, because it will, however these things work, there's some starts inside this wire, there's some sort of chemical of some type that is allowing it to do its what it's made to do. And then I have a rubber grommet right here that I have to try to get back into the hole around this thing. And that's going to be fun to get that back in there. Probably be easier if I had taken this thing off, unscrewed it here so I could mess with it easier. And I might end up having to do that to make it easier to work on. So let's go through here and maybe, maybe. This one here is ground wire, so I want to put that back on there. So let's put this off the side right here for right now with that screw in it. And then I just have to get enough torque on this thing here to get it to come off, and it ain't working too good. Oh, I gotta get some more leverage on that baby. Alright, so this thing has a thing in the end of it here. There you go. Now the other thing I didn't do yet was hook the motor, the pump and motor here, the water pump part of it, back through this wiring so it all turns on at the same time. So it's got two separate things. I wanted to wait until, since I had that damaged cover and fan, to make sure that it was going to run right, so that I don't have to have two plugs plugged into the thing. And right now I will have to, because I haven't done that yet. Now, let's see if we can do this. Get this grommet thing back in here. Pretty much just squeezes together, and then it has there's sometimes things you think should be relatively easy turn out to not be that way, but it's going in there. It's going in there. There. Okay, so that's back in there. Now, if I can run this wire back up here, I can put this back on. Tighten it back up, get it back in the hole there. I'll put this ground one back in there. Gotta hit the hole. It's always important to hit the hole right. There we go. Now the question is if that's going to work right. So I'm going to put it back together, put the screws back into the top of it so I don't have electric. And then once, I won't know until I try it to see if it's going to act the way I want it to act, you know, which is to so I'll just put one bolt in it for right now, just one screw in it for right now, until Alex, go ahead and put them both on there, that way in there and see. Okay, so that's there. That's set. Now we'll turn it around here, and actually we'll just come over here, and so now what this does is goes up in here, and this sends that signal back over there to tell the burner to turn on. And it's just this thing here. Oh man, that thing is really corroded. That was one of the issues with, oh my. Look at the crap in that thing. So that's not good. So I might want to take that thing off there. That was probably one of the issues with it. Might not even been the thing itself, it might have been the still the corrosion, but anyway, took it off. So what I might want to do is hook water up to that, run water through that thing. That's a lot. I can go get that off him. Like that. Because that's in the way. What if I take this off here? Take that off there for a minute. Now let's see if it'll screw it in there. I'll take this off and then clean it down on the side of there because it's obviously dirty. Yeah, that's a mess. So now what you gotta do is put this back together here, this part right here. Put this thing back in there. Put Teflon tape on it. Oh. Okay, then this guy goes up through here, so I think I'll put that inside of here like this. And this goes up inside here. That. So I'm still just wrapping this, or closing this in this protective shield here, plastic thing here, and hopefully the sun doesn't know what it's doing. I could have done this before I put this back together too, but it would be easier. But I didn't. So that's how that is. can get a zip tie around this. Slide this over a little bit. Get a zip tie around that. Okay, let's see. Now I got this tie around there. Now I can put this back up in there. I actually have a little bit too much cord hanging out there. What I'm going to do is load it back in here one time. Hope that won't damage it. It came packed like that, wrapped up, so it's going to damage it. Then hopefully not. Hopefully not. All right. Sounds pretty good. Put a little tape around that. Slide. I think it's going to slide anyway. Okay, now the top part is this part here. And this thing. Yeah, clean those off a little bit. White brush here. Okay, now I'll stick this one back on here. Put some tape on it. I don't know if this tape is okay for, well, it's going to be that hot where it's messing it up. I don't know. Worked before though, so I guess it'll work this time. And we'll put some around this one down here too. That goes in the bottom. Shit. Oh, that's right now. It goes like this. And then that was hooked onto there, right? Yeah, because that was hitting that. This is on here. Right? Yeah. Right there's the mark. On the side here, the arrow will tell me which way to go, so. Okay. So that's hooked back up, that's hooked back up. Put that lid back on there. And same on there. Get these tools. Put this back over there. All right. Now,